Wimbledon 2015 is just around the corner and the bookies have already set some interesting odds for some pretty cool special bets for the tournament. Here on the line is Lee Phelps, William Hill's in-play radio host, and he's going to preview the ones that I found for us today. Now, Lee, I found 8 pretty interesting ones, all of which you can find at William Hill, and those are the odds that I'm going to quote for this. I'll put the link in the description box below this video. Now, let's run through them and see if any are worth betting on. Now, the most crazy one I found is snow to fall at centre court during the 2015 Wimbledon Championship, and that's priced 251. Is that a bit of a silly one?
Yeah, I think it is, isn't it? I mean, you know, I've done a bit of research, and the latest snowfall I can find on record is June the 12th. There was snowfall in the UK on June the 12th, 1791.
Okay.
So, you know, I think that's quite a long time ago. In 1985, we had snow on June the 7th in Birmingham. And in 1975, a vintage year, by the way, when I was born, June the 2nd, a cricket match in London was delayed because of snowfall. So even those, I mean, you know, we're talking end of June, beginning of July. No, it's not going to happen.
All right. So no, worth passing on that one. It's a fun one, but let's save our money for something else. The next we've got is official caterers for the event to run out of champagne or strawberries, heaven forbid. Then that's priced 34. Any chance of that happening?
Well, champagne, first of all, champagne brand Lanson are one of the sponsors. They won't run out. There's no chance of them running out. Strawberries. Now, I've done a little bit too much research on this, Natalie. This year, bumper year for strawberries. Record levels of sunlight during winter. And the warmest April in 4 years means, and stick with me here, the rate of photosynthesis has increased. That means plants have produced more sugars, resulting in a better and tastier crop. They're expecting 76,000 tonnes will be produced this year. That's the equivalent of 6,333 London buses full of strawberries. And that beats last year's record of 64,000 tonnes. So there's going to be more strawberries this year than ever before. They won't run out.
And they're going to be sweeter from the sounds of it, more tasty.
Apparently. Apparently, yeah. I mean, I don't go for the cream, just plain strawberries for me, no cream.
All right, perfect. I just stick to the champagne personally.
Yeah, fair enough.
But let's talk about temperature now. And one of the bets here is the temperature of 100 degrees Fahrenheit record at Wimbledon over the 2 weeks. And that's 17. I think that could be quite possible. Is that possible?
Well, I think the sun's gone to your head. Where you are, that's probably pretty routine. But that is 37.777 degrees. That is hot. That's hot for the UK. The hottest temperature recorded in June is 35.6 degrees, which is under 100. And the hottest temperature on record for July is 36.5 degrees, which is also under 100. So, you know, you'd have to really go some. The hottest temperature ever recorded was in August, that one that you quote. You know, I think it's like 38.5 or something. So I don't think so. I think, you know, the hottest temperatures tend to come like late July, early August in the UK. So it looks like it's going to be a nice fortnight, but I don't think we'll be creeping up to the 30s. I think we'll be looking at mid-20s, I think.
Oh, okay, then. You made a good point there. And the next one is no rain to fall at Wimbledon 2015 during play. That's priced 11. I wouldn't bet that one. I think there will be rain.
Yeah, you know the UK weather. I'd be reluctant. I mean, I've had a look at the long-range weather forecast, and it does look like a nice fortnight of sunshine, but I think they're predicting maybe a little bit of rain on maybe the Monday and Tuesday of the first week. So I think we'll get, I mean, for no rain whatsoever, not even a drop of rain, it would be beautiful. It'd be fantastic, but it's hard to predict that in the UK, isn't it?
Yeah. Would you take that bet then, just as an off chance, maybe bet £1 or something?
Yeah, that's probably, the ones concerning rain are the ones that tempt me most. And I could take that because, you know, you could get just a nice fortnight. It'd be lovely. And it'd be a lovely bet to land as well, knowing that there'd be no rain whatsoever. I could take that one.
Yeah. The next one is hottest day of 2015 in the UK to happen during Wimbledon, and that's priced at 9. But you were mentioning there that it's sort of July, August time, which you sort of get your best weather. Is that something you could consider? Could we see the hottest day of the year in the UK at Wimbledon?
Well, I mean, I think it was a couple of years ago that the hottest day of the year was in July. I mean, obviously, this is the last week in June, first week in July, Wimbledon. So I think it's a little early. I mean, do you know what? As someone who lives here, obviously, because from what I've seen, the temperatures are going to be mid-20s. And if that's the hottest day of the year, it's going to be a pretty boring summer.
Yeah, I tell you one though I'm quite interested in, and you know we can have some great days of sunshine, but then all of a sudden heavens open and the rain pours. Full day's play washed out, not including centre court, priced 9. I'm quite tempted at this one.
Yeah, this is the other one that I could make an argument for. I mean, like I said, the weather forecast, long range weather forecast, obviously, you know, and you can't really trust weathermen in the UK either, says that there will be some rain, you know, early in the week. Now, the wind rates look quite high as well. Not like really windy, but enough to be able to blow showers over. What you really want is heavy rain forecast with no wind, so it's just sat over the top of Wimbledon. But it is the one, I'm not sure it'll land, but it's the other one that I could make an argument for. That I guess that the downside to that is they will try their very best to get play underway, even if it is a tiny bit of a tiny bit of action. Obviously, this doesn't include centre court because we've got the roof now over centre court. But yeah, this one and the other one that we mentioned are the ones that I could play at. It's an attractive price, isn't it? You'd be the only person though sat there praying for the covers to stay on, wouldn't you? Because you read the bet.
Well, then someone will be pleased with the rain, won't they? When heavens open up, they're like, "Yep, bet came in." And I've got an interesting one here. Any player to be cautioned for excessive grunting on court. That's priced at 9. How often does that happen?
Well, you know, I think it's kind of like reached a bit of a kind of crescendo, if you excuse the pun. In 2012, there were talks and stories of Wimbledon bringing in gruntometers to see how loud. I mean, it's mainly the women. You know, I mean, it's that expellation of air, isn't it? So when a man hits the ball, you tend to hear that kind of grunt, like, you know, because they're hitting it so powerfully, and women really shriek. I think Maria Sharapova was one of the worst culprits for it. But since 2012, it's kind of calmed down. I think it has calmed down from the players a little as well. I think it would be a case of, you know, I think it would be maybe be a quiet word behind the scenes rather than any official warning before it was done. But I think this is one that's calmed down in recent years. You do tend to hear it still, but not quite as shrill as we've heard it in recent years.
Just imagine that conversation. Do you mind keeping your grunting down, please?
Yes,
it's distracting for us viewers.
Yeah.
Now, another one here is and this has the shortest odds actually. This is around evens. I'm quite surprised at how low this is. Any player to be asked to change clothing, change as clothing doesn't apply with rules. Is that something doubling your money here if this happens?
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because, you know, as recent as 2013, Roger Federer was asked to change his trainers, his sneakers, because they had orange soles on them. And it's very strict. You know, basically, the rule is as simple as this. You must wear your clothing, including footwear, must be entirely white. You're allowed a single trim of colour measuring 1 centimetre or less around your neckline or the cuff of your sleeves. Okay. So if you infringe that, then you will be asked to change. Now, you look at what Stan Wawrinka wears. I mean, he kind of turns up in his pyjamas, doesn't he? You know, at the French Open final. So I wonder if, you know, maybe Stan Wawrinka might be confident enough to go in there with maybe something a little bit different. So it's even money because, you know, I guess the rules are out there, but players consistently try to push it. John McEnroe actually got away back in the day with a red headband, which was unheard of. Andre Agassi threatened not to play in the tournament because he used to wear trademark denim like effect shorts, but in the end he said, no, I'll wear all white. And you know, his kind of peroxide blonde hair was enough of a standout. So yeah, I mean, you know, people can turn up and, you know, and just all that happens is they get asked to change. Mm-hmm. You know, so it's perfectly possible. Last time it occurred, like I said, 2013 with a big player, you know, bearing in mind that's Roger Federer. He was, you know, he's kind of king of Wimbledon back then, wasn't he? So, you know, and he had to change his shoes as well. So what happens is sponsors usually get involved. So it'll be a sponsor saying, just wear these, and there'll be a lot of publicity about it. So yeah, that's another one I could take.
All right then. So out of all of those ones, is there any one that particularly stands out that you would suggest to us?
I like the same one as you. The first one that you suggested, the no rain during Wimbledon. Just because I'm an optimistic kind of guy, it's a decent price. And I'd love it if we had a fortnight of just pure sunshine, no interruptions, and great matches all the way through.
All right. So you're going to be praying against the person who backed the rain one. Please be
I'm going to do an anti-rain dance.
Yeah, exactly. All right, wonderful. Lee Phelps, thank you for joining us.